Hey, this is Dirk for episode 13. So Jamal ended up going home like I wanted. Um, so that was good. We had the challenge, was kind of a random chance thing, and Sage keeps hinting at a knowledge is power advantage, like 3 or 4 hints, and to the point where it's painfully obvious to everybody. And in the challenge, that was based on random chance, kinda. It got down to just Caleb and Snowy, and they had to decide which one would get immunity and which one would get an advantage. So we're all thinking it's got to be the knowledge is power, right? So, surprise, surprise, because Caleb told me right away he would fight for the advantage. Snowy also wanted the advantage. They couldn't agree. So what they ended up doing was doing like Carlbot 50-50 randomizer, and Caleb got the advantage. He says it was an idle nullifier, which means that there might be a knowledge is power out there still. But yeah, so we've got an idle nullifier. Now, with the vote talk happening, of course, for my alliance to concede to voting for Jamal, I promised I would vote for Andrew next. Andrew has invited me to an alliance, which I said yes to. The Skanks, which is Echo, myself, Infinity, and Andrew. And then basically I've been leaking everything that they've been saying over to the Moon Knights. So I know that they wanted to vote Sebastian. I let them know that. But basically, I do want to flip. We I think want to flip on Sebastian and Taylor and Cam. It's just too soon. So I really want to. This whole vote for voting Andrew is all about just solidifying their trust, in my opinion. And what's great is during it, Snowy has been kind of leaky and like telling Andrew all the votes are on him and that nobody wants to strategize until he's out. And I told Cam this and told the group this, and Cam already was a little wary of Snowy's challenge ability, so I think he said he's willing to vote him next. So if he does, I feel a lot better about that group because it suddenly becomes a 3, not a 4. I always kind of felt like Snowy was with them, but yeah. So Infinity, Echo, and Andrew might all be pissed at me. I'm trying to find. Cam does not want us to tell Infinity or Echo the vote, but I really want to tell Echo because I think we need to bring him in later. So I've been talking to Caleb about how we're gonna navigate this. I don't want him to run to Cam and say like, "Oh, I heard you didn't want me to know." Another thing to note, Cam might be aware of my steal a vote advantage. Still not really sure how that happened, but just something to note. Because there is a knowledge is power out there. And I feel like there was something else. Well, I think that's most everything. Yes, I remember. Cam and I formed an alliance with Elk, which is kind of cool. Elk likes Cam a lot, I realize, which could be a problem later if Caleb and I are trying to use Elk to go as far as possible. But it might work well, connect well with Cam and reform after a blindside if possible. But yeah, Elk has been worried this vote actually because Cam had thrown Elk's name out there as a decoy without really asking Elk. he he asked the group. We kind of agreed, but I don't know. It all happened so fast. But basically, in the alliance with Andrew, Infinity, and Echo, they were talking about how people were voting Elk and how we should use that to rally Elk with us to vote out Sebastian. And really, I think the big thing for me this vote is just making sure me and Caleb navigate how we want to tell Echo, which I still haven't, because I'm just worried he's so hard to understand what he's going to do. But yeah, so right now just trying to navigate that. Andrew's definitely going home this vote, and after that, hopefully it's a snowy vote, which brings us down to 8, and then we could potentially flip over with the other 3 and make a move there, and then try to use advantages to help us get from there. But we'll see. Either way, I'm gonna think this over with Caleb on how to work it out with Echo and go from there.